Hi everybody, it's Shanetta Jameer. Thank you so much for tuning in because I want to give you an update about my caregiver story. So back in 2016 in January, my mother had a stroke and it was really hard at the time. I already had a sister who is autistic and amazing, and I felt like I really needed to be strong for not only myself but for her. And when that happened, my life was just changing and I didn't even know it. I didn't know anything about, being a caregiver in a sense of community and being able to talk with people, get more research done, help, and just have a place to go to know what to do and where to start. When I first made the video, there's actually a couple of them on here. When I first made them, it was just raw, in the room, at the rehab center, just like, wow, this is life now. And I was really going through just the emotions of everything, not crying in the video, but just sitting there like it's late at night. I'm here another night with my mom, spending the night with her because she didn't want to be alone. Things were just changing. She couldn't walk at the time. She couldn't speak very well. She couldn't remember my name much. She would call me, Katie, and that's not my name. And it was tough. And my sister couldn't comprehend what exactly was going on at the time. The reason why I haven't done an update though, because you guys, even though I was being encouraging in the video, there is so much that has transpired for the good. We still had some unfortunate family things, such as a death, which I'll probably talk about in another video. But I did post a video about how there was a death in the family, and I took a little break from YouTube and everything. But you guys, I still want to keep you uplifted and encouraged about caregiving and, just transitioning, whether you are transitioning to be a caregiver or you're transitioning out of being a caregiver. Say you have another family member stepping in, or the person that you're caring for is getting better and progressing. One thing that in the beginning stopped me from giving you guys an update, first of all, was myself. I stopped giving an update because I was afraid that I didn't even know that someone was offended, but I did hear that someone was offended by my video that was close, a family member who told another family member they had expressed that they felt like I didn't speak of them much or whatever. You guys, your testimony is your testimony. My testimony is my testimony. I went back over my video. I didn't hear me say anything that this person did not help, this person didn't do this, they didn't do that. I was really speaking from my heart about my situation, but to uplift others and encourage others, because when we don't do this, there's someone who doesn't get that voice. There's someone who doesn't get that encouragement. And I really wish that I wouldn't have stopped myself from giving an update, because things got better. Things got so much better for my mom. She definitely knows my name. She knows who I am. She's walking, she's on she uses assistance, but she's walking. If she chooses to be in a wheelchair, she can be in a wheelchair, because the stroke did affect her on one side. And I really should have updated people sooner than that, just in case someone looked at that earlier video and was like, wow, that doesn't sound too good, but she's encouraging people. I stopped myself. So that next reason was to get satisfaction from that person. I was hoping that, if I didn't say anything else, that person would be more so in my life and be the person that I needed them to be in my life, and wish and hope for that they would be in my life. And guess what happened? They didn't. They did not. And that was a lesson for me to understand that people are not going to change. You know, you can do anything and everything above and beyond for other people. And when I say people are not going to change, if they're set in their ways, there's nothing that you can do at that point in time. There's just nothing that you can do. Some people are in a whole nother zone than you are. They're in a whole nother field. They're in a whole nother age. They're in a whole nother world. They're in a whole nother country. They're in a whole nother city. I mean, it's so many different things. And of course, they can be in a whole nother mindset, mentality. They might not care about you like you would wish and hope for that they do. But it's okay. God really just manifested even the more. Just his plans, his promises, all of that manifested so much in my faith and my trust. I had to stop relying on, you know, someone being so amazing and great to me, you know, to satisfy them. That was the wrong thing that I was doing. What I needed to do was just stay being strong for myself, stay strong for my sister who has autism, and, you know, just to be of assistance to my mother and father that were going through such a difficult time. Yes, the death that came later on, it brought so, you know, some very tough heartache, but we had to get through that as well. And I couldn't be happier with my mentality now. I'm so glad that I stopped worrying about other people. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I started worrying about what someone else thought, because that holds you back. It does. It holds you back. And it's no point in holding yourself back when you need to work on yourself. You all, please stay encouraged. If you know someone who has a family member or someone who has a stroke or who has had a stroke, be there for them in whatever way that you can. Be of support, be a listening ear. That's one of the best things that you can do, is be of a true listening ear. You don't know what else they are up against. You don't know who else is in their life. You don't know if they feel lonely. You don't know how they feel until you talk to them, and even then you're only getting the surface because you're not that person. So again, I would have been able to say something before the death that happened in my family, but I'm just so glad I can say this now with true peace. You know, letting go of the situation, knowing that God has everything in control, that there is no weapon formed against me shall prosper. His word lives on. And my mother is doing so much better, and she has her mind and everything. That is such a blessing. Things can always be worse. They can always be worse. And my mother has worked so hard. And I can't wait to hear from you all. And I hope this encouraged you, because you really got to stay strong. If you're going to be there for someone who, you know, has to go through something, you know, mentally challenging or physically challenging, you guys, you can best believe there's going to be some emotional challenges. So feel free to comment, share this with someone who may need to hear it, who is really going through some tough times. You guys, you can also go to your community center in your neighborhood, in your town, or even the Department of Aging that is near your town or city if it's not within it, and ask if there's any volunteering that you can do, any donating that you can do, or even any free classes that you can go to. A lot of them have videos and seminars and even exercises. You guys, through my mother's stroke, I joined this group and I learned about, you know, other mental disabilities that are caused with old age and bad health, and You know, there's just so much going on out there. And I met other people who were caregivers taking care of other people with all kinds of situations, with either they were born with it or they later developed it or had, you know, just a horrible accident that happened to them or reaction to something. There's so many factors out there, and I've met so many great, wonderful people who are caregivers who are trying to live a normal, everyday life. And they too needed this support group to be able to have people to talk to and people to lean on and people who truly love them and understood. You guys, imagine me trying to talk to people like friends or something, and they, you know, friends with younger parents, and they're not worried about this because they know I love them. I'm not talking about, you know, I'm just saying the situation. Like, imagine, you know, being in that position where it's like you have parents who are older or who have had a situation happen to them that you may think is only for old people, you know. And your friends have healthy, vibrant parents who are still working, and or they're retired and they're still active and they exercise, and you know, they can just go about their day and say, hey, you know, I get to do all this with my parents and whatnot. And they might forget, like, oh yeah, your parent can't do that. You guys, hold your head up, because you still have your parent in your life. You can still see them. You can still breathe the same air that they breathe. You might not have them like you want them, but they are still here, and it builds your character. It really, really does. You might not understand why this is happening to you, but it builds your character. You might not understand why everyone else seems like everyone's healthy or they've moved on. You're going to meet people who are going to move on and act like they don't know what happened. Some people are going to go on about their lives, and you may even get mistreated or, you know, just blatantly just ignored. And you have to hold your head. You have to stay grounded in faith. You have to pull something out of you that you never knew. First of all, you're probably going through shock that this all is happening to you, no matter what age you are, whether you are 65 and dealing with caregiving, or you are 12 and you're dealing with caregiving. It doesn't matter. You're going through some type of shock, but you can't be surprised when people just walk out of your life. Or be surprised when people want to use you because they think that you're so vulnerable, because they feel like they know you need somebody. So you're willing to do whatever it is to have their company, so you feel like you have that escape. It's gonna happen. It happens. So you all, I hope this fuels even more conversation. You know, comment, let me know your thoughts. Again, share this with someone who may need it, who may need to hear this, because I got you. I will talk about it. We can open up, talk about the different phases of, you know, loneliness, struggle, friendships, family, relationships, work, you know, being able to balance a job, being able to physical health, your own physical health, the process, learning new things such as how to take care of someone who is so limited, and then help them progress. You guys, there is so much that comes with caregiving, and you get a bigger appreciation for people who work in nursing and care, physical therapy. Just, you get so much appreciation for people, personal aids. You get so much greater appreciation. And you guys, I'm telling you, you're not gonna want to miss out. I'm opening the welcome to myself. I am back. I'm ready to talk about it, and thank you again for accepting me in. I am just my testimony. God is so good. God is so good, and He is taking care of me. So, you guys, I have so much love for you, and I'll be hearing from you soon. Bye.